everybody. I'm Dr. Jeffrey E. Berger, and welcome to Season 1, Episode 8 of the Holistic True Wealth series in collaboration with Mupo TV, part of Mupo Entertainment. As the CEO and founder of Abundance and Optimum Wellness and a certified holistic wellness coach, I am of the belief we all should be living a life of abundance and optimum wellness physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. As a certified holistic coach today, I take a finance-first approach to achieving all-encompassing personal well-being by embracing new ways to true wealth in the modern world. Exploring diverse paths opens the doors to true wealth in every sense. As a global ambassador for an innovative company revolutionizing the future of real estate through digital technology, I'm deeply committed to empowering individuals and communities worldwide. My mission goes beyond business by providing global-minded entrepreneurs with new ways to true wealth in the modern world so they can circumvent the system and go from financial fatigue to financial freedom. It's about creating opportunities, providing access, and building a more inclusive and supportive digital world where everyone has a chance to thrive. True wealth is not only about money. It's a combination of physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and financial fitness. Myself and my special guests are all about bringing awareness around alternative solutions from all aspects, leading one towards a path to overall true wealth. The mission: provide real solutions for real people like you who are serious about wanting to go from barely surviving to thriving. I wanted to share this image here. This is New Jersey, July 2024. I attended my second Mupo Entertainment red carpet event. And because of you out there, I humbly received my second award for the Best Holistic True Wealth TV series. I'm extremely appreciative to my family, my friends, my followers, and supporters during this incredible journey. And if you'd like to get access to my digital marketing brochure, just scan that QR code that's on the screen right there, and it'll share a lot more of outside of that little short video that I shared. So before I get started with my special guest today, we're going to take a quick commercial break. And for those that are interested, you can find this interview series in collaboration with Mupo TV at mupotv.com, or you can download their Android or iOS app. And we're also seeing on Fire TV, Roku, Vimeo in 144 countries. And I will be right back with our special guest today. Okay, we are back, and I am very, very excited to be introducing my next guest all the way from my home state, New York. We have Dr. Rachel Gregg, who is with us today from her hometown, which is Lacona. And Dr. Gregg is the owner at Rachel and Gregg Health and Wellness. My gosh, we've known each other for years, and I can't wait to hear about her amazing story of this incredible woman who is really very passionate about helping people think about pharmaceuticals and where that is today. And after years of being a professional pharmacist in in the traditional world of employment, there came a time where a shift occurred, and the thinking and learning after exactly what this industry was doing changed her mind. It wasn't aligning with her passion of helping people and she needed to make some major changes. And Dr. Rachel shares some reality checks which is kind of what I went through back in 2018. And she's helping and educating people about what's really going on in the health and wellness industry. And two of her favorite quotes is, pain is just weakness leaving the body. And then the second was, tough times don't last, but tough people do. Welcome, Dr. Rachel Gregg, to the show again.
Thank you, Jeff, Dr. Jeff.
Thank you.
Thank you for inviting me on. It's always nice to talk to you.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure to share space with you because you bring so much insight and wisdom to people in all aspects. So very excited to have you back on, because I think it's been like 2 years since you've been on the show.
Has it really been that long? Wow.
Yeah. You were in my first or second season. So this is my it's actually my 6th season, but it's really season 1 of part 2, because these new seasons are holistic true wealth. So not combining physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and financial all into that big encompassing formula to true wealth, because true wealth is not only about money, it's about the combination of all those entities bringing it together. So before we jump into the questions, let's share with the viewers a little bit about who Dr. Rachel is outside of your business, because I know you got a lot of things going on outside.
Sure. Well, just like some personal. So I'm a dog mom. I just got a new puppy, so I'm busy with that. I love in my own life. I don't just preach to people about their health and wellness. I kind of follow it. So I do a lot of my own, physical training, getting outside, working out my mental health, because like you said, so important. And, the financial piece is so important as well. So I can appreciate what you just said there. And just, just life in general gets busy. But I love what I get to do every single day. I'm not tied to a 9 to 5 or anything like that. It's on my own schedule. So I'm my own boss. And you know what?
Awesome. You love it. Very good. Very good. So let's bring some perspective to the audience.
Yeah.
Let's start out with, why pharmacy?
Yeah, it kind of I had gone to college with the intention of being a doctor, and the program I was in had 2 spots and 3 of us were vying for it. And it was one of those that I was grade-wise, I was that short, literally. Everyone else, the other 2 had 4.0s and I had a 3.9 something. And so it was meant to be. And I had a coach, my cross-country coach in high school, said, did you ever think about pharmacy? And of course, I didn't even think about it. So I kind of went down that path. I applied for pharmacy school, got in, didn't know what I was getting myself into, but I knew it was an avenue. I knew I wanted to be at that time. I was a little more naive to what was going on in the medical system. So I wanted to be a part of it. I always knew that. So it kind of was by default, and it led me to being a pharmacist.
Awesome. So you were in pharmacy for quite a number of years, and then at some point there was a shift from your traditional pharmaceutical practices, and you started to say it's like wake up, and that there was something that wasn't working. So take us through that journey about what you were going through as a pharmacist, trying to help people from a pharmaceutical perspective, but then things just weren't working out for you personally from that perspective.
Yeah. So I was a manager for 6 years of my 10 years in pharmacy. So I kind of got wrapped into, I wasn't at all, I was into the natural side, but just kind of was this underlying, like, yeah, I do it for myself. And then it started to be like, oh, well, you're going to have to be an immunizer, which I was not about it. I didn't want anything to do with it, but it was being forced. I was being ridiculed by my boss and other people about spending too much time in the aisles with helping people find natural solutions.
Right.
So it was like, what are you doing? Are you just having coffee like that? Are you having coffee with these people out there? Like, what are you doing? And so I was really starting to feel this tug of, I really wanted to be able to help people because I knew that they weren't getting the help they needed just with the pharmaceuticals. And so I just kept getting this pushback every time I tried to do something to help these people. And so it just got the voice in my head got louder and louder about, you really are going to have to step away from this profession in the sense of being behind a counter, being under someone else's thumb,
Right.
and
Right.
not being able to really do what you wanted to do. And that was the shift. It was just, I'm kind of a free spirit anyway. And to be kind of told you can't do this, you have to do this, was not sitting well with me whatsoever. And I knew what was behind it.
Sure. Oh, absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
the piece, we weren't really trying to help people feel better or even really like heal. We were actually, just trying to make a dollar. So, which we all are trying to make money, but if you can do it and marry helping people actually improve their health and their life, then that's, in my eyes, that is a better way to go about it.
Absolutely. And that brings me back to when my doctor wanted to put me onto a 6th medication. And I said, well, why? And she said, well, you're having problems from the other 5. And I said, well, who's to say I'm not going to have problems with number 6 with these other 5? And that's when the light bulb went off saying, no, this isn't working. There's got to be another way. And that's when I started to, chose to explore holistic. There had to be a way. And August 2019, I've been pharmaceutical free.
That's
So
awesome. Wow.
I'm not filling their pockets, which is great.
Yep, me neither.
Hey, plants were put here for a reason. We need to get back to that traditional, research and utilizing the plants. Now, granted, there are times, hey, when I'm passing a kidney stone, give me the morphine, baby. I don't want to go through that pain, but I didn't have to be on all those medications, which my doctor said, you have to be on medications for the rest of your life. And I'm like, whoa. So share with some of, share some of the stories, the horrific stories that it was kind of led you to that point where this is ridiculous. These pharmaceuticals aren't helping people. And it started to kind of change your mind and direction to thinking more from a holistic perspective. How can we marry the two, where you're actually getting to the root cause of what's going on, and then actually having it heal rather than just putting a Band-Aid over it?
Yeah. So it's interesting, just over my course of being in the retail setting, you see people come in, month out. So it's kind of this routine. But if you take time, and this is what I would do when we weren't as busy, I would look at people's profiles, and you just see, just like you were saying with, you're on 5 medications. Well, what's one more, right? What's one more until somebody's on like 15 medications, and you would just see their list do this. And, they'd be on something for mental health, and then they need a sleep medication and all these different things. So I watched, a couple people, you just watched them come in every month. And it was just this slow progression of just, their skin looked a little yellow. You could tell that they were just surviving. They weren't thriving. And I think that's, you said something, if I'm passing a kidney stone, I want that morphine. We have really good things for acute issues.
Right.
But when it comes to like chronic disease, we really stink at it.
Right.
We spend the most money on our healthcare, and we're like 20 something. And as far as countries, as far as like our life expectancy, our, quality of life when it comes to that. So, it's just it wasn't one major thing that I saw. It was just this progression for so many people going downhill. And there was just, to me, I saw it as there's no hope for them to even start to feel better. They're always just going to be adding on medication to mask the symptoms, to numb the pain. And it's one thing to numb the pain here and there, but all the time, it's not a way to live overall, in my opinion.
I agree with you. I mean, I think we grow up into a society where we're told to believe, doctors, and they were indoctrinated into a system that is really, it's broken and it's corrupt because it's managing illness rather than managing wellness. How can we get these people well We just have to keep them coming back to the doctors and going to the hospitals and having surgeries and more medications and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's a vicious circle. So we're going to take a quick commercial break. And as I did in my introduction, I am a global ambassador for a very, very innovative real estate company. It's a digital real estate. And I'm excited because we're actually launching a huge marketing campaign here in the United States, 2025, 2026, leading up to our IPO in 24 to 36 months. And this is a very exciting time for young companies to be moving towards that. And here's just a little taste of what I've got going on, which really encompasses, as I said earlier, my business is abundance and optimum wellness. And I believe we all should be living in abundance and optimum wellness physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. And this really adds to the financial aspect of it. For years, I was financially stressed. I'm no longer financially stressed, and it is a godsend. We'll be right back. Okay, we are back with Dr. Rachel Gregg from the state of New York. So, Dr. Gregg has her own coaching business, helping people wean off of medications over time and live a healthier lifestyle by understanding, how their body works, their body temple works. We have one body temple, and we have to do the best that we can to feed it properly, nourish it properly, so forth and so on. And share what you typically do with a new client coming on board. And I do understand that there are some medications that people have to be on for the rest of their life, like thyroid. If your thyroid is removed, then there's a thyroid medication as an example. But take our viewers through a journey of how you bring people on and help them through their journey.
Sure. Yeah. So in the world of social media, the bulk of my people come through, as of right now, like some of the live videos I do on TikTok, some of the reels I do on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. So it's bringing them in this digital world, like you talked about, digital, financial world. And we go back and forth. I have a number where they text me or email me. So it's that kind of, you can get on a call. And once they invest, so I have a product line that I promote supplement wise. And once they come on board and make that investment in those products, that's their buy-in to work with me as their coach. So they get my coaching for free. So I link them into my texting platform. I coach them through, nutritional needs, getting them drinking more water, eating enough protein, moving their body. The first thing I did when I left pharmacy is I became a certified personal trainer. So I've always had that aspect. And then we talk about, I do work with people about tapering off medications safely, not cold turkey, not just, but systematically, and, really talk to them about how they're feeling and then what they're experiencing along the way. And that's something I think I have a value add, because as a pharmacist, I've had that, even when I was in retail, I helped people. I was, with that piece of it. So I really, if people want to get off their medications, incorporate the supplements, incorporate the new changes in your lifestyle, see how your body responds,
right,
and we systematically work from there.
Awesome. Well, that's great. Yeah. So for those who are watching, I'm going to throw this back up at the bottom of the screen. You can reach out to Dr. Rachel Gregg on Facebook, and you can get connected with her through Facebook. She has other social media accounts as well. She's on TikTok and Instagram, but definitely check that out. So with that, I wanted to, I sent you, and I just heard this, I think it was last week. There's this massive announcement about over the counter cold products being marketed for decades, and we're only realizing today that none of them really work. What are your thoughts on that?
It's especially, I have to say, especially when they had to switch over from pseudoephedrine to that phenylephrine form of a decongestant. I knew then, I'm like, these are not the ones over the counter there are not working for people. Just like I talked about some injections and stuff that don't work as well as they tell you they do. It's the same thing here. Somebody that did the studies, you always have to do your homework. Who's paying and funding the study that says, yep, this is working, this is safe and effective? How many times have we heard that?
Right.
So I think it's a sad state, but I think hopefully the good piece that comes out of this is that this opens more and more people's eyes to, like, oh, is this other stuff I'm taking, like, making
Exactly.
homework?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I don't even remember the last time I bought over the counter, cold stuff. It's drinking teas and doing lemon and doing things that are natural. And that is what really opened my eyes when I started to explore holistic, because we're the types of people, we want to educate people who are sick and tired of being sick and tired of not getting better, and they want to level up in their health, in their wealth, in all aspects of life, because we only have this one life to live, and we want to live it to the fullest and not being sick all the time. So with that, if there were and I wonder how many billions of dollars these companies have earned off of that. And as you say, these other products, how much are they making from those products, and are they really working?
Exactly.
That's another talk for another show.
Here's just a quick little thing to get some of your peeps that are watching this. Think about some of the supplements. Sometimes supplements get a bad rap because of some of the recalls happen, or this or that happens, or they feel like they don't work. A lot of the supplement companies that are in your drugstores, in your grocery stores, please don't buy your supplements in bulk at Costco. Please, please, that makes my heart so sad. You're buying from companies that actually are drug companies. These are pharmaceutical companies that have bought out some of these supplement lines. So just another little thing to give you something to go do some research on. Do your homework before you buy supplements. You want really good quality, and you want to spend money. Good, it's
Right.
not the cheapest version you want to buy. So just
no,
another.
you're absolutely correct. It costs money to get well, unfortunately, because we're living in a world where everything is so cheap because it's made cheaply. And I remember in New York State, there was a huge supplement pulling off the shelves because they were finding sawdust as a filler in supplementation. And it's like, you need to get aligned with a company that it's science backed, it's clinically trialed, it's trialed and tested within the company and a third party. So this way they're both coming up with the same results with their tests. And if they are, then that's an ethical testing platform.
Yeah.
And I know that Dr. Rachel represents an amazing company that does do that. And the products are awesome, because I'm drinking my little happy probiotic juice here. And I still drink that, and it's amazing. So if there were one nugget, one piece of advice that you could provide one or more of our viewers out there who are just sick and tired of being sick and tired and looking for that glimmer of hope, because that was me in 2018. I'm like, I got to do something. That glimmer of hope, wanting to improve their health. What would that be?
Wow. Yeah. It's hard to narrow it down to one. I guess my biggest thing right now is just take that first step, like you said. Just start by drinking more water. If you're like, I know I don't drink half my body weight in ounces of water, just start with something like that. You'd be amazed. You're like, oh, I have more energy because I'm not dehydrated all the time. And I tell people it can be overwhelming, right? I mean, you had a lot of health concerns. you're not sleeping, your energy's low, your mood is, your gut, just focus on one thing. And if I could recommend the one area, if you're not sleeping well, focus on your sleep. There you go. And then so many other things will start to improve because you're sleeping.
Or you can reach out to Dr. Gregg. There's her Facebook information. So thank you, Dr. Rachel Gregg, for your wisdom. I always learn from you. And I love your passion for helping people, because we need that today. And we need to get MAHA, Make America Healthy Again.
Yes, we do.
We do. So as I mentioned earlier, I'm a global ambassador for an international digital real estate ownership company expanding in the U.S. market, as well as globally. I've got global partners, which is amazing. I've been traveling around the world. And if you are interested in learning, it's all about learning and about decentralization, real world assets, digital real estate ownership, the metaverse, our newest IPO announcement. We are incorporating into our eclectic ecosystem things about real estate tech, real tech, financial tech, fintech, educational tech, ed tech, and others that are coming in the future. Scan the QR code and attend one of our next webinars. I've got one this coming Saturday, and I do several during the month just to get people on board, to get them educated about what are the technologies that are happening today that are going to revolutionize the world 3 to 5 to 10 plus years in the future. I think about back in the day in 2009, when I was a software engineer for 27 years, I was approached to buy Bitcoin, 500 Bitcoin at 0.0017 cents. 500 Bitcoin. That was an 85-cent investment. Back then I said, no, it's a scam. And just the other day, one coin was $92,000. That's the value of Bitcoin. So anything is possible. The world is changing. We're going into the digital world. It's better to be not left in the dust. And I'm educating those who are looking, again, for alternative options. It's about multiple options. What do you, diversifying your portfolio, because you will wake up one day if you don't get on board and get educated and be surprised and be hit in the face. And so with that, I'm confident that we do have one of those, what's happening today, that will help you expand and potentially change your life in 3 to 5 to 10 years down the road. And, Holistic True Wealth is about balance and harmony across all disciplines. And I embrace that and I teach it. That's part of my core being and my mission. It's about creating that, it's a life that is rich in experiences and relationships and knowledge and purpose. And this is what, my special guests coming on board, they align with what I'm doing. I align with what they're doing. And we want to share this. And by embracing this holistic approach from all aspects, we can achieve a state of well-being that is sustainable and fulfilling, leading us to live our best lives. And financially, holistic mental and financial fitness is a new path to embracing true wealth in this world. So thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you on the next episode of Holistic True Wealth. Thank you, Dr. Rachel. Appreciate you. Love you.
I was playing? Huh. Huh.